This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups stepped into a Brooklyn federal courtroom today, not as an NBA champion or franchise leader, but as one of 31 defendants in a sweeping federal case. A single post-game comment from Creamline's import has sent the entire Cool Smashers community into full-blown speculation mode. High stakes and higher tension in the UAAP as Salle, Ateneo, and FEU battle for the lone remaining Final Four spot. Two matchups on Wednesday will determine who moves on and whose season ends. LPU and JRU punched their tickets to the NCAA Season 101 quarterfinals, dealing a heartbreaking end to the playoff bids of San Sebastian and EAC at the Filoil Centre. World-class surfing, record-breaking runs, and a new wave of Asian champions. Baler turned up the swell for the WSL Intro Pro. And we've got the biggest moments, the major titles, and the stories behind the waves. All the scores, headlines, and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 25th of November. I'm Anton Roxas. Now, here's our roundup. Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups pleaded not guilty in a crowded Brooklyn federal courtroom, facing charges tied to alleged rigged and mob-connected underground poker games. Dressed in a gray suit with a white pocket square, he appeared alongside 30 co-defendants, including former Cavaliers player and coach Damon Jones, underscoring the wide scope of the federal probe. Prosecutors allege that Billups and Jones acted as face cards at high-stakes poker events in Manhattan, Las Vegas, the Hamptons, and Miami, using their NBA star power to lure wealthy gamblers or fish into illicit Texas Hold'em games. The case offers a revealing look at how celebrity influence can be exploited in underground economies, blurring the lines between public icons and hidden networks of organized crime. Creamline supporters are in a frenzy online after Cool Smashers import Courtney Schwan hinted that some players may be leaving or even retiring from the franchise after the 2025 PVL Reinforced Conference. The spark came from Schwan's post-game interview following Creamline's loss to Petrogas on Monday. Caught slightly off guard by a locker room conversation she didn't fully understand, Schwan dropped an eyebrow-raising line saying that she heard that some players are leaving or retiring from the team. That casual remark exploded across social media within hours, stirring anxiety among longtime Creamline fans, many of whom are still sensitive to any sign of a roster shakeup. The Cool Smashers' identity has long been built on continuity, a star-studded core, and one of the most loyal fan bases in Philippine sports. So even the slightest hint of change becomes an emotional trigger. As of tonight, Creamline has not confirmed any departures. Looking ahead to the semifinals this Thursday, Petrogas will face the Akari Chargers, who sent shockwaves by taking down the top-seeded Farm Fresh Foxies. Over on the other side, Zeus is set to battle the PLDT high-speed hitters, who earned their semifinal spot by defeating Signal with a 3-1 victory. Now, let's look at the remaining action in the UAAP Season 88 men's basketball tournament. 3 teams are already safely in: NU, UP, and UST after a dominating display in the elimination round. But we are still in for a threat as a classic showdown is set for tomorrow. The highlight, none other than the storied rivalry between Ateneo and Salle. In their first meeting this season, the Blue Eagles looked ready to cruise, building a massive 31-point lead until the Green Archers roared back, slicing it down to just 5 in the final quarter. Ateneo held on, but not without feeling the full weight of Salle's push. And that's the thing about this matchup. Every time these two teams meet, it's never over till it's over. Expect a long, hard, and high-voltage battle. But the battle for the last ticket to the Final Four slot comes down to one last playdate, and 3 teams are still vying for the spot in what's shaping up to be the tightest semifinal race in recent years. Here are the ways the Final Four can shape out. For FEU, the road to the Final Four is still open, but they're going to need more than just their own win. First, the Tamaraos must beat the UST Growling Tigers to finish at 7-7. But even that isn't enough. They also need Ateneo to defeat LaSalle. Now, if both results fall their way, we get a 3-way tie at 7-7 between FEU, LaSalle, and Ateneo. And that sends all 3 into a step-ladder playoff for the last semifinal seat. The team that finishes 6th in the quotient standings plays the 5th-ranked team. The winner of that knockout then challenges the 4th-ranked team, with the survivor claiming the final spot in the Final Four and the date with the top-seeded NU. Now, for the Green Archers, it's very simple. They just need to win their rivalry game against Ateneo to get into 8-6, and they would advance as the 4th seed. For Ateneo, aside from the potential step-ladder playoffs they win against LaSalle and FEU, managing to pull through against UST, they have also one more scenario to make it to the playoffs. If UST beats FEU and Ateneo outlasts LaSalle, it will set a rematch of the classic rivalry of blue and green, a showdown for the last ticket to the Final Four. 4 teams, 2 games, 1 Final Four ticket left by Wednesday night. The semifinal picture will finally be set, and one team's season will survive by the slimmest of margins. LPU and JRU punched their tickets to the NCAA Season 101 quarterfinals, while San Sebastian and EAC saw their playoff hopes end at the Filoil Centre. The LPU Pirates closed the door on San Sebastian's postseason dreams with a 70-63 win. Ato Barba led the charge with 22 points, while Jonathan Daileg added 14 and 7 boards as LPU clawed back from an early deficit. The victory sets up a quarterfinal clash with the twice-to-beat San Beda Red Lions on Thursday. Now, over in the second game, JRU surged late to eliminate EAC 80-76. Justin Lozano fired 15 points, Steven Garupil added 14, and the Heavy Bombers leaned on back-to-back clutch threes from both guards to complete the comeback. The Heavy Bombers now move on to the quarterfinals as their postseason campaign stays alive. 2 spots secured, and the battle only gets tougher from here in NCAA Season 101. Baler set the stage for world-class surfing all week as the top men's and women's surfers carved their way to the podium and stole the show. Our sports correspondent, Sheila Salaysay, has all the details.
World-class surfing returned to the birthplace of Philippine surfing heritage as Baler played host the second time around to this year's World Surf League, Baler International Pro 2025, drawing athletes from across Asia, Oceania, and beyond. In a week, the WSL Baler International Pro delivered intense heats, breakthrough performances, and a shining spotlight on the region's rising star on the qualifying series and longboard qualifying series event. Yuji Nishi dominated finals day, while Minami Nonaka extended her undefeated streak in Baler with her second qualifying series win of the season. The women's long qualifying series semifinals set the stage for an all-Japanese final, with Natsumi Taoka emerging as champion and Sakura Inoue as runner-up, while Filipina beds Amara Lopez and Kyla Jane De La Torre delivered strong, inspiring performances. All Filipino men's longboard semifinals highlight. J.R. Esquivel dominates to take the champion spot. Jo Maria Buesa claims first runner-up after a tight battle, and Jun Esquivel finishes second runner-up, brothers and rising stars showing strong moves for 2026. And to really capture what this year's event meant for the surfing scene, I sat down with two of Asia's best for a closer look at the stories behind the waves. Japan's Natsumi Taoka once again reigned supreme in the women's longboard division, clinching her back-to-back title, posting both the highest single wave score and the highest heat total of the finals.
Here and then win again. The wave condition is a little bit tricky for a longboard. It's like a more dancing on the board, like step and then no slide. Yeah, I like the feeling for longboarding. That's why I do longboard.
JR Esquivel stayed perfect, faced fellow 2025 longboard tour competitor Jo Marie Ebueza.
Pang-ilang titulo mo na to?
Actually, pang 6 times ko ng champion sa Asia.
6 sa Asia. Ano yung sikreto mo? Why do you keep on winning?
Tuloy-tuloy lang sa pag-improve, tapos training lang ng training. Para sa akin, yung hard work, saka yung time talaga na binibigay ko para mag-training. Tapos talagang pinag-aaralan ko kung ano yung kailangang gawin sa contest. Especially yung sa mga points and sa pagpili ng magandang alon. Talagang yun yung pinofocus ko every time na nagko-compete ako.
Meron ka pa bang nararamdaman ka ba? Dahil ang dami mo nang naging championship titles, pero every time, meron pa bang pressure sa'yo?
Yes, meron pa ring pressure kahit paano kasi lahat naman ng sumasali sa mga contest na ganito is magagaling talaga. So, ayun, sinusubukan ko lang i-handle talaga yung pressure, especially sa during heats na kapag nakakakuha ko ng magandang score sa early heats, mas nagiging confident ka kapag nakakauna ka talaga sa contest.
Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, ikaw nag-compete. You've also competed outside of the country. And yung pinaka-recent na competition na sinalihan mo was in sa El Salvador. Kwentuhan mo naman kami about it.
Yes, bago ko pumunta dito sa Baler is nanggaling kami sa El Salvador, which is yun yung final event ng World Longboard Tour 2025. Tapos ayun, nakalaban ko doon yung mga world champions. Tapos sobrang saya ng experience kasi 3rd year ko na sa tour. Tapos 3 beses din ako nakapasok sa finals nung WSL. Kaya sobrang saya and mas nalilevel up ko yung surfing ko dahil mas nakakalaban ko yung mga sobrang gagaling na surfers doon.
Tournament director John Carby says he's happy to be in the Philippines and excited about long-term surfing plans.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Yes, congratulations on this event. But tell me, why was this place specifically chosen? Although this is the second time that Valeria is hosting, but why here?
Baler Aurora is just there's so many reasons actually. It's picturesque. The people are warm, friendly, hospitable. That not just in the lineup or in the surf, but also in the restaurants, in the sari-sari stores, in the street, the tricycles. The community here is just so welcoming and lovely. And we also have a great beach break behind us to compete in. And more importantly, it's the birthplace of Philippine surfing. So it's a historic site. It has great waves and it has people.
Can you walk us through the overall vision of WSL for this year?
Okay, so the overall vision for WSL through our event management company SDMI is to showcase the beauty of not just the waves but also of the locations where we are coming to. We've been in Siargao, we're now in Baler, and then we're off to La Union into January 2026. And one thing that resonates is the landscape. Coming out towards the provinces of the Philippines, when you leave the cities behind, you find palm trees, blue skies, and a picturesque coastline that we can showcase to the rest of the world to include sports tourism, get surfers out here surfing, enjoying the culture, the water and the people. In surfing in particular, we have in January will be one of the biggest events that we sort of host. It's the World Junior Championship, which is 48 surfers from the men's and women's across the globe coming to La Union to surf a point break over there. It's our 2nd year in a row of hosting this event. when it comes to WSL, this is a very, very high end. A world champion will be crowned in La Union on that. And then on the back of that event is a longboard qualifying series, which is also a new criteria for the WSL. So they're not just loving events here in the Philippines.
And that wraps up the Baler International Pro 2025, a week of high-performance surfing and big moments for our Filipino surfers. Up next, La Union takes the spotlight for the Junior World Championships and La Union International Pro. So see you back at the waves in January 2026. Reporting for the Scorecard, Sheila Silaysay, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
From the intense waves in Baler, we will go to the pristine fairways in Santa Elena as my interview with Filipino professional golfer Miguel Tabuena will be featured right here on the Scorecard when we return. So stay with us. Welcome back to the Scorecard. On this program, we highlight the incredible feats and accomplishments of our local sports heroes. And one of the biggest wins among all Filipino athletes this year was Miguel Tabuena's astounding victory at the International Series Philippines last October at the Santa Elena Golf Club. Now, we had a chance to sit down with Miguel moments after he hit a hole-in-one en route to the biggest milestone of his career thus far. Let's take a look back at that exclusive interview. Hello everybody, it's Anton Roxas for the Scorecard, and we are here right now at the Santa Elena Golf Club for Day 2 of the International Series Philippines. Sitting alongside me, Filipino pride, 3-time Asian Tour champion, and the young man who hit a hole-in-one today at hole 14, Miguel Tabuena. Brother, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks so much.
Miguel, I'll start off with that. Hole-in-one, hole 14. How do you feel about being able to hit that shot in your home course?
Yeah, it's dream come true, for sure. I actually didn't see it go in, but I hit the line I wanted to, and I heard that it took. I mean, thanks for showing me a while ago, but I heard that it bounced one time and then just hopped in the hole. But I actually didn't see it go in, and then DJ told me it's in. So it's nice. It's special. I'm very, very happy that it happened in my home course.
Bro, as somebody who plays at the highest level, every time you are playing a hole wherein you have an opportunity to convert an ace, what goes through your mind? Are you thinking like, hey, I gotta get this in one, or nah?
No, man. It's a hole in one. People don't do that in their lifetime, and it's probably a 1 in a million shot. You know, it's nothing. You don't think that you're gonna make a hole in one. You have to. I actually wasn't aiming for the pin. I was aiming probably like 5 yards left because the wind was off the left, and it's just one of those days where it worked out, and I'm glad that I didn't stop there. You know, it was a hole in one, and then I parred the next hole, and then I eagled 16, and that's what you have to do at the highest level. You have to keep your foot in the gas. You know, you can't slow down, and I'm glad that I'm in this position for the third round tomorrow.
So I showed Miguel the video which a fan or a spectator named Alex took, and Miguel reacted to it, and he was telling me that it's your 6th hole-in-one your whole life and second in competition.
Competition, yeah.
Okay, and I like the mindset that you just shared, that you can't get too high after that moment. You gotta continue playing golf.
Yeah.
Where did you develop that sort of mindset that you gotta be a pro about it and just, continue on?
I'm 31, but this is my 14th year as a professional, and that's a lot of golf that I played in my career at a very high level. And I'm very glad and pleased how how I reacted after the hole-in-one. You know, there's time to celebrate, but there's also time to keep your head down because there were still a lot of holes to be played, and I'm glad that I didn't stop there.
When did you start playing golf, and what was the moment that clicked for you that, you know what, hey, I could turn this into a career?
Yeah. Well, I first picked up a club when I was 1 year old and 8 months.
Wow, 1 year old and 8 months.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was plastic golf clubs, and then it transitioned to like a smallish 5-wood that my mom cut, and it was still wood, but yeah, I started very young, but I played other sports. I love sports in general. You know, I always make time when Gilas is playing, when Alex is playing. You know, I love seeing Filipino athletes thrive in their fields, and that's what I'm all about. You know, I support them from their highs and lows because I personally know how it feels like when someone is up and when someone's down. So. It's something that I can relate with them, and yeah.
Who's your favorite Filipino athlete?
The one that actually, I would say Manny
Pacquiao.
for sure. Yeah. The whole Philippines stops right when he has a fight, and it's still like that even to this day. But you know, there are other people coming up, EJ, Alex, and it's really so nice that we see the Filipino heart displayed at a world-class level.
Speaking of a world-class event, we have the International Series Philippines here. How do you think this will impact the whole golf scene in the Philippines after staging an event, bringing all the big names here, and you representing?
Yeah, I was told yesterday by the IS people, the International Series group, and they said that yesterday was the biggest turn up for a first round, and I'm so glad that it's in the Philippines. You know, I've been telling them to come over for the past 4 years, and it's nice how they're receiving it. You know, I see so many familiar faces, so many members of my family here. It's so special to be able to compete at home because I hardly do, but whenever I do, it's truly special, and for it being an IS event is even more.
And here at the Santa Elena Golf Course, your home course, is there any pressure? Like, did you feel a difference seeing all the people and knowing that you have to perform well?
I would be lying if I said that there's no added pressure, but there is for sure. But at the end of the day, it's still another tournament. You know, you have to sort of set that aside. I was telling the guys upstairs in my press con that I don't think there's a big factor when it comes to course knowledge or to local knowledge, because these are world-class players and they'll adapt to anything. I guess what I can take advantage of is the crowd. You know, it's nice that I'm playing at home. Of course, there's more eyes on me. There's more people cheering me on, and it's nice that I was able to play that way today in front of them.
You're paired with Dustin Johnson and Louis Oosthuizen. Who's your favorite golfer, like of all time? Who influenced you to play?
I grew up watching Tiger. He was the reason I started to be more serious and take golf to another level. And then when I turned pro, of course there are people that I idolize, that I really I would say look up to and feel a bit starstruck when I meet them again, like Rory or Dustin. I played with a few times, but when you tee it up, you know, you have to set that aside, and it's an even playing field. You know, you have to play against the course and just keep your head down.
So, Miguel, last two questions. First, this is the international series presented by Bingo Plus. But recently, just a couple of days ago, you were introduced as the newest member of the Arena Plus family. So, your thoughts on that and being a part of Arena Plus, which is a growing brand here in the Philippines, supporting many leagues like the PBA and the PVL.
Yeah, I'm really happy that it is actually more of that they said yes to me. I was begging them for the longest time, but after back and forth, it finally happened just in time before this big event of theirs, and it's humbling that I can be part of that roster of athlete ambassadors, and I know with my platform and with their help, with Arena Plus's help, I can grow the game here. I can make it more accessible and more fun for everyone here in the Philippines. And that's my goal, to grow the game of golf in the Philippines, because it has given me so much.
I saw an interview done with you recently, and the question was asked, what else do you want to achieve in your career? And you kind of had a hard time putting the words together. You're saying that you're a family man now.
Yeah.
So I'll shoot my shot again. What do you think is next for you? What are some of the goals that you want to reach moving forward?
Aside from growing the game of golf, of course I want to be the best golfer I can be, and I always thrive for that, But at the end of the day, it's just golf. There's so many other important things in life. I have a almost 2-year-old daughter. My wife and my daughter are everything to me, and it's not as, there's a lot of pressure off my shoulders, especially when I get home. Either I play bad or good. They're always there, and it's always tanggal pagod for sure when I see my daughter and she says dada dada. So it's different. It's a different perspective, but at the same time, I believe that I was given this talent, and I will do my best to give back glory to God for sure.
Well, we thank you so much for growing the game of golf and bringing entertainment to all of the fans, sports fans in the Philippines. And Miguel, all the best moving forward. Thank you so much for the time. Miguel Tabuena here on the Scorecard on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. On this day in 1976, Buffalo Bills' O.J. Simpson set the NFL single-game rushing record with 273 yards against the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow. Back to our original time slot every 10 p.m. on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.